Hello everyone, Prosperity here. We're getting close to the launch of Legion, and there have been a lot of changes to the classes and specializations. With this series, we'll be going over these changes to help you build a good foundation for your spec. And with that, welcome to the beginner guide to the Restoration Druid in Legion. This first video for the Resto Druid will be covering your combat abilities, broken up into two parts, healing and utility. Your core healing spells are Efflorescence, Healing Touch, Life Bloom, Regrowth, Rejuvenation, Swift Mend, and Wild Growth. Utilities are Shapeshifting, Entangling Roots, Moonfire, Nature's Cure, Solar Wrath, and Sunfire. We have a lot to cover, so let's get started with the healing abilities. Your 7 healing spells, shown on screen, are the bread and butter of your toolkit as Resto. There are 3 hard cast abilities and 4 instant cast abilities, and learning the appropriate times to use them all is crucial to begin your journey to mastery over the spec. Efflorescence places a 10-yard area on the ground at the targeted location, healing up to 3 injured allies every 2 seconds for 30 seconds. You may only have one of these effects active at a time. However, it has a high mana cost, so you need to plan out where the best place to cast it would be to get the most out of each use of it. Healing Touch is your main hard-casted healing ability with a baseline 2.5 second cast time and 40-yard range. This is your lowest mana cost heal and will be one of your filler heals in times of low incoming damage. Life Bloom is an efficient instant heal that lasts for 15 seconds, healing for a moderate amount over the duration. When the spell effect ends, either by expiration or by being dispelled, the target is healed for a small amount. You may only have one Life Bloom active at a time, so keeping this on a tank is recommended. Also note that this spell should be refreshed if the target is at or close to full health towards the end of the spell effect. Regrowth is your secondary hard-casted heal with a baseline 1.5 second cast time and 40-yard range. This spell costs twice as much mana as Healing Touch and heals for slightly less. Regrowth has a 60% increased chance to critically heal with the initial heal, and heals for about 40% of the initial heal over 12 seconds. Rejuvenation is another instant cast heal that is comparable to Life Bloom, except slightly weaker and without the Bloom heal when it expires. This spell should be cast on a member that isn't in danger of taking lethal damage while you tend to another member that is taking more damage, like the tank. Swift Mend is one of your most powerful instant spells in your spellbook. It heals for around double the amount of Healing Touch for about double the amount of mana, but comes with a cooldown of 30 seconds. Swift Mend is a fantastic pocket heal for when you need to get a group member up from below 50% health quickly, so try to save it for that if at all possible. Wild Growth is your main area of effect healing spell. It has a 1.5 second cast time and a 10 second cooldown, healing up to 6 nearby injured allies for a moderate amount over 7 seconds. This spell costs a little less than double the cost of Efflorescence, so this spell should be reserved for intense raid-wide damage. The heal over time effect of this spell starts strong and diminishes towards the end of the effect, so try to make use of Efflorescence in tandem with Wild Growth. Your 6 utility spells are up on the screen now. While learning your healing abilities is crucial to starting a good foundation, learning your utilities will set you apart from the rest of the herd. Shapeshifting is a unique mechanic to druids that allows you to take on different roles within your specialization. As Restoration, the baseline shapeshift you have available to you are bear, cat, and travel forms. Shapeshifting makes you immune to polymorph effects, and switching forms frees you from movement and pairing effects such as roots and slows. As a Resto Druid, your effectiveness in these forms isn't great by any means. However, there is an entire tier of talents that will make you comparatively effective with the corresponding spec, depending on which talent you take. I'll go over this in the 3rd video for this series. Entangling Roots is a spell with a baseline 1.7 second cast time that roots your target where they stand for 30 seconds. This is less effective against ranged characters, but can be very useful for getting away from an enemy. Damaging a target affected by Entangling Roots has a high chance of cancelling the effect, so be aware when using this ability. Moonfire is an instant cast ability that deals some initial arcane damage and places a damage over time effect on the target that lasts for 16 seconds. This ability is castable while in bear form, so make use of this if you are kiting an enemy. Nature's Cure is your dispelling ability. It's instant cast and has an 8-second cooldown and removes all magical, curse, and poison effects currently on the target when used. Solar Wrath is your castable filler spell for times when there is no damage going out in an encounter. It has a base cast time of 1.5 seconds and deals a low amount of nature damage, costing you 0 mana to cast it. Sunfire is the AoE counterpart to Moonfire, dealing damage instantly to your primary target and placing a damage over time effect on it and all enemies within 5 yards of it. This spell costs almost double the amount of mana that Moonfire costs, so you should save it for when you'll be able to hit 4 or more enemies with it. Let's recap. Keep your Life Bloom on the tank at all times. Use your Rejuvenation to put a buffer on a target so you can focus on a higher threat. Save your Regrowth for dire situations while predictively casting Healing Touch in anticipation of damage, and use your Efflorescence in conjunction with your Wild Growth to effectively heal raid-wide damage. Make use of your Dispel ability whenever the need arises. Shapeshift to get yourself out of sticky situations, and contribute to the raid's damage during times of negligible incoming damage. Follow these rules and you will be well on your way to becoming a top-notch healer. That's all I have for the beginner guide to the Restoration Druid in Legion. I hope what we've gone over today has helped you to understand your toolkit a little better. Keep an eye out for the next 2 videos for the Resto series, and subscribe for more Legion videos. As always, if you have any questions regarding Resto Druid or anything World of Warcraft related, feel free to ask me in the comments below or on Twitter at @TheLoranzas. Thanks for watching, and as always, have fun.